Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Wow, beautiful music and beautiful networking already going on. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We're set to begin the program. Please, can we turn the music down a little? Thank you. We're set to begin. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention? Can we please have your attention as we're set to begin? Thank you. All right. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pre-event cocktail of the 16th Annual Banking and Finance Conference. It's really glad to see us networking, to see us here again. You know, as I came in here, I was hit by some sort of nostalgia because we were here last year. We were gathered right here in Transcorp Hilton last year, and we're here this year for another beautiful session. Quick poll before we go ahead. If you were here last year, please, can I hear you say aye? All right, let's take that again. If you were here last year, please say aye. Okay, if you were not around last year, please, let me hear you say I missed. How many people missed? Let's take that again. If you were here last year, ladies and gentlemen, at the right corner of the hall, can I have your attention? Right over there at the right corner of the hall, can we have your attention? Thank you. So if you were here last year, please say aye. Okay, if you were not here, say I missed. All right, please look around to the people that didn't come last year and tell them that don't miss out on anything this year. It's going to be amazing. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pre-event cocktail of the 16th Annual Banking and Finance Conference of the CIBN. Can we give the CIBN a round of applause for a 3-day event that starts with today? Round of applause. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, the theme for this year, as we can see all around, is Next Gen Financial Services Accelerating Growth Through Talent and Technology. Now, tonight is going to be a relaxed environment to learn and network. So we're going to let our hair down and network. This is an opportunity to network. I already saw that happening over there, and we are going to continue. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to begin this evening by recognizing our guests and our office holders. And if your hands are not too busy, I know we're taking some finger food and some nice drinks, but if your hands are not too busy, if I could have your attention, please. If your hands are not too busy, as I mentioned them, please give them a round of applause. Are we ready? Are we agreed? Okay, we've started clapping. Beautiful. So I'll start by recognizing the office holders. Please be generous with your applause. Please join me as I recognize the President and Chairman of Council at the CIBN, Ken Opara, PhD, FCIB. Celebrate our President. Please celebrate the first Vice President of the CIBN, Professor Deji Olanrewaju, PhD, FCIB. Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, you can do a louder of applause as I celebrate the second Vice President of the CIBN, Mr. Dele Alabi, FCIB. Okay. And now celebrate the treasurer, the national treasurer. I mean, just look around. I saw her and I said, isn't she gorgeous? Isn't she looking lovely? Look at her in red. Beautiful. Please join me as I celebrate the national treasurer, Mrs. Mojisola Bakari Asheru, FCIB. All right. And of course, we cannot but celebrate the Chairman Conference Committee, the Chairman Conference Consultative Committee, and the MD CEO at FSTH Merchant Bank. Please celebrate Mrs. Bukola Smith, FCIB. Amazing. So if you are over there, you might just be missing out on all the beautiful things happening here. Maybe you want to come closer a bit so that you don't miss out on anything. Also, the co-chairman, conference Consultative Committee. Please join me as I celebrate Mr. Hamid Joda FCIB. Please, can you wave? We'd like to see you. Amazing, amazing. All right. And then to our guests, everybody is special. Everybody is special. So please look around and tell the person you are standing beside, tell that person that you are special and you are a VVIP. And I welcome you. And tell that person you look good. You look sharp. I'm happy to see you here. So everybody here is a VVIP. I can see that, this is a mix of different generations, and we just love to see this. We love to see what the CIBN is doing. So I'm going to quickly recognize our guests. I'm talking about the people who are our special guests who are going to be speaking this evening. Please join me as I celebrate Professor Joseph Nana, HCIB, the Chief Economist at the Development Bank of Nigeria. A round of applause for Professor Nana. All right. Also, we have Mr. Deremi Atonda, MD CEO, Remitter Payment Services Limited. A round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Senator Asuko Ekpeyong, Senator representing Cross River South. Please, a round of applause for him. He's going to be with us soon. We also have with us, joining us virtually, because the beauty of technology is that you can join us from any part of the world. So even though we are in Nigeria, she's joining us virtually today. Please join me as I celebrate Miss Odunayo Eweni, co-founder, COO, Piggyverse. Celebrate her, please. Ladies and gentlemen, there are going to be a few rules and a few commandments for tonight. But please, let me just seek the indulgence, crave the indulgence of the president to set the first commandment for tonight. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen over there, are you ready? First commandment for tonight. We must be generous with our applause. We must be generous with celebrating people. We cannot be partial. If you clap for one, you have to clap for the other. Are we good? Amazing. So please join me as I celebrate Dr. Adeshola Adeduntor, FCIB, MD CEO, First Bank of Nigeria, represented by Mr. Callistus Obeta, Group Executive, Technology and Services. A round of applause for him. I can see you waving. Thank you for joining us this evening. And to our moderators for this evening, I'm going to invite them later on when we get into that side, but this is the opportunity to acknowledge them. Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge Mr. Akim Oyewale, FCIB, MD CEO, Marble Capital Limited. A round of applause. And of course, Mrs. Kofo Adebayo, Head Talent Management at Union Bank PLC. A round of applause for her. All right, so in the course of this event, we are going to acknowledge speakers as they come. So don't worry if we haven't acknowledged you or you haven't acknowledged your boss and he walks in or she walks in. We'll be happy to do that in the course of this event. And for quick welcome remarks, ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I bring up the chairperson, Conference Consultative Committee, and the MD CEO at FSGH Merchant Bank. I'm talking about none other than Mrs. Bukola Smith, FCIB. Please celebrate her as she takes the welcome address.
Thank you, Tammy. And I noted your point on quick opening remarks. So we'd quite like to make this very short and quick and hopefully sweet. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Can I have your attention, please? Thank you. Hello. I see that the networking is going on very nicely and everyone is enjoying themselves. But please spare me a few minutes as we start this. Today I'm really, really happy and privileged to be here with you all this evening. And I'd especially like to welcome you all to this pre-conference event. I think that our 16th annual conference is going to be an excellent, exciting time for each and every one of us. I'm sure you all agree with me. Yes, excellent. and just an excellent way to start it off with this event. And it reminds me of many years ago when I came into banking. And, just seeing everyone around here now, I'm quite excited. I was telling some people that I joined banking about 31 years ago, and I saw the look on their eyes that, oh no, you sound like Methuselah. But it's really nice to be with you all this evening. So I'd just like to, again, welcome you all. It is a privilege and an honor to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you as we gather here today at the 16th Banking Annual Conference pre-event. It's for us a very warm evening. It's in celebration of innovation, collaboration, and the spirit of the financial service industry of Nigeria. As we gather to talk about innovation, to talk about technology, I look forward to hearing the excellent speakers that we have, both those that are here physically with us and those that are also online. The theme of this year's conference, like we all know, is Nigerian economic growth and empowerment, the role of the financial service industry. And this, for me, is very critical at this point in time where we are in our nation, Nigeria. So it is going to be very exciting for us to see and hear all the ideas that we all have here this evening and in the days to come. For me, it is especially gratifying that we are all able to gather. I know we gathered last year, but the year before was a bit more difficult because of COVID. So year on year, we are all here together now to discuss, to share thoughts, and to give ideas on how to move our industry forward. So special welcome to all the council members, special welcome to all our past presidents that have joined us here this evening for this event. And special welcome also to our panelists that are going to share their thoughts with us. And indeed, special welcome to each and every one of you for being here this evening. Without much ado, I would like to just thank you all for the time here, and I look forward to a great evening with each and every one of you. Thank you so much, and enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So ladies and gentlemen, when I host events, and meanwhile, I ought to have introduced myself earlier. Please pardon me. My name is Temi Badru, and I'm delighted to be your event host today. Now, when I host events, I refer to myself as a traffic warding and a person under authority. Under authority because your clients tell you do this and you do this. They say move and you move. So there's a special request now, and I'd like us to please oblige and honor that request to the distinguished guests who are sitting at the far or standing at the far right. There's a special request that you please come closer as we are getting into the heart of the conversations. So please, can you please come closer? All our guests who are over there would like us to move over to the center. And ask our hostesses to please nudge our guests. The gentleman and the distinguished lady who is over there, please come closer. All our guests over there, please come closer. We'd like you to come closer and to be at the center. We're waiting for you. Please come closer. Thank you. To everyone who is also at the extreme end of the hall, please, can you come closer? We want to have a small circle, like we say, small circle. We want to be closer so that we can interact better. We're going into the heart of the conversation, and our guests are flown in from different parts of the world to be here. So we must get the best out of them. So ladies and gentlemen who are standing over there, please come closer. Our ushers, our hostesses, please nudge them. Please come closer. All right. I'd now like to acknowledge our revered past president of CIBN. And remember, we agreed at the beginning that we'll be very generous with our applause. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome and celebrate the past president of CIBN, Professor Wole Adewumi, FCIB. A round of applause. You can please wave, sirs, wherever you are so that we recognize you. Mr. Femi Ekundayo, FCIB, thank you so much for joining us. Professor Dikin Joseph Ajibola, PhD, FCIB, a round of applause. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the opening remarks, please, I want us to take a moment to gather our applause together because it will seem that we are networking. But let's take a moment to gather it together because I'm about to invite the president. I'm about to invite the chairman of council at the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. And you know that is no mean feat. So please join me as I welcome for the opening remarks, Ken Opara, PhD, FCIB. A round of applause for him as he takes the stage for the welcome address.
Thank you. Thank you, Temi. Thank you so much. If you are a Gen Z or the millennial, please can you make some noise? I didn't hear you well. Please, I need it. That's all. Congratulations to you. This evening is for you. Last year, we began to create a special day, a pre-conference dinner, basically to celebrate what we have. And we think that essentially the future and the reality and current reality is about you. We began to recognize the fact that if you are not available, we are missing a very important segment. And I'm happy that we can see the young ones radiating, beautiful, and shining this evening. I throw my salute to all of you. I welcome you all to this evening. Is your evening it have fun? The first vice president of our institute, Professor Deji Olarewaju, FCIB, the national treasurer, Mrs. Bak, FCIB, the chief executive, Mr. Akemora Keyo, our revered past presidents. Beauty of what you see is that we have our past presidents also at our background supporting us. Here at this cocktail, I can see Mr. Femi Ekundayo. I can see Professor Ajibola. These are also the millennials that are also with us this evening. The chairperson of this annual Banking and Finance Consultative Forum, my own, always available at every point, Mrs. Bukola Smith, who is also the MD of First Discount Houses. FSDH. It's always, how she juggles it, I don't know, but it's incredible. And we have also a whole people gathered there. We have the executive director of NDIC, Mrs. Osuji, here with us. So many dignitaries. The various, I can see Dr. Ucholo, MNI, and so many other people that are here. Our panel and syndicate session speakers all gathered here to celebrate the younger ones, the Gen Z, the people that we say this industry belongs to. Let me share one story with you and I'm done. We've been out since morning, up from 10 o'clock today. And guess what? What we paid ourselves is that we've built a pipeline of the younger ones, the Gen Z, that will make the difference. And guess what? because they've seen us as an institution that identifies the Gen Z, the younger ones. The various institutions that we went for today, they agreed to partner with us simply because we have a program that identifies with the Gen Z. And I think you need a round of applause for yourself. So the future, not talking about the future, the reality, the current reality belongs to you. So tonight is for us to network, intermingle, rejoice. Very soon we leave you guys. You have fun, enjoy yourself, and then be available for tomorrow. It promises to be a very exciting session. If you didn't attend the annual Gen Z program, you missed so much. Why? Because you saw different programs, you saw the younger ones, innovation, incubation, artificial intelligence, you saw a whole lot of the younger ones. And let me tell you, we pride ourselves in this country that the strength of this country is the youth. 70% of the population belong to you. And so that's why we need to celebrate you. I want to thank you all for coming. It's going to be a memorable event full of action. And I just want you to unwind, loosen yourself, open up. If you have not met anybody, try to exchange praise. On that note, I want to thank you once again. I can see other past presidents joining us. Mr. Jayola is here with us. The immediate past president, Dr. Bayo Olubemi, is also joining us here. So I want to thank all of you for coming and for making this a memorable one. We want to assure you that it promises to be full of fun, excitement, and relaxation. God bless you and enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'll invite you to celebrate someone who you've probably seen all over. He's working around to make sure that this event is a success. He is the CEO and registrar of CIBN. Please celebrate Mr. Akimorakinyo. Please celebrate him loudly. Thank you, sir, for the great work you're doing. All right, thank you so much, sir. I can see he's sorting out one or two things. Thank you very much. I'd like to quickly acknowledge Dr. Don Ogbonna, FCIB, Member Governing Council at the CIBN. A round of applause. He's a member of the planning committee of this conference. Also, Mr. Laoye Jayola, FCIB. Please celebrate him, ladies and gentlemen. Also, we have Dr. Uche Olowu, PhD, FCIB, past president of the CIB, and a round of applause. Dr. Bayo Olugbemi, FCIB, past president. Please celebrate him. All right. So as the chairman and president said, if you missed out on the last Next Gen conference, you really, really missed out. But guess what? This is another opportunity to participate in a beautiful one. And on that note, I'd like to usher in the next session, which is the Fireside chat. And I'd like to invite, I see that our speakers are here. I want to believe that the speaker who is joining in virtually is already connected. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I bring up Mr. Akim Oyewale, FCIB, MD CEO, Marble Capital Limited. A round of applause. Please celebrate our moderators. Oh, they are going to be driving the conversation. And of course, Mrs. Kofo Adebayo, Head Talent Management, Union Bank PLC. Yes, please, you're welcome.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. As we all know, the future of banking is that banks will evolve into technological companies. And in this evolution, digital transformation then becomes a strategic imperative. We have this platform this evening created by CIBN for us to engage and share insights of national thought leaders in the area of technology and the future of banking. And therefore, as we commence the fireside chat, I'd like all of us to please be very attentive because we are also going to be co-participants in these discussions. We ask that you get your questions ready. We're going to be having the panelists introduce themselves, but I'll start with my own introduction. My name is Kofoworola Adebayo. People call me Kofo. I head talent management in Union Bank of Nigeria PLC. And my co-panelist is
Akim Oyewale. Good evening, everyone. My name is Akim Oyewale. I'm the CEO for Marble Capital Limited. It's nice to have you all here.
Thank you, Akim. And then we're just going to have our panelists also introduce themselves as we speak, as we call them out. They're going to introduce themselves and just give us like a 5 minutes into who they are and how they have become what they are today and how they have earned a seat where we can then engage with them and share in their insights. We're going to start the introduction and the discussion with none other than Professor Nana, who is the Chief Economist of Development Bank of Nigeria. Please go ahead.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How are you guys doing today? I can't hear you. Come on, folks. You can do better than that. All right. So anyway, my name is Joseph Nana. I serve as the Chief Economist of the Development Bank of Nigeria. My job function oversees research, monitoring, evaluation, and sustainability arm of the bank. My background is in accounting. As a matter of fact, I have a bachelor's degree in accounting, MBA, but I went on to turn around and get a master's degree in economics, a PhD in economics, and I worked in corporate America for roughly 12 years before joining academia, attaining the rank of professor before coming back to Nigeria to serve as the chief economist. Broadly speaking, my job is rather straightforward. I follow the money. If DBN pushes out funds, my job is to basically try and tell a good story about how the money was used by the respective customers of our partner financial institutions to essentially grow their respective sectors, industries, and feed their respective economies where they operate. So I'll just pause there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nana. If there's nothing else that you're taking away from his introduction, it's the fact that he follows the money. Follow the money. Hashtag follow the money. Thank you very much, Prof, for that. Hakim, do you want to introduce the next panelist?
Yeah. Okay, I would like us to listen to Mr. Diremi Atonda, the MD of Remita, as he introduces himself. Diremi, please.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Nice to be here this evening, and thanks for joining. And it will be nice for guys at the right end of the hall to join us here. It promises to be a very interesting. I'm not a banker. Disclaimer. I'm not an accountant. I'm not an economist. My background is in physical sciences. Physics is my background, and that's why I'm not in banking. But I do a lot more outside of the physical sciences. Probably was supposed to be a comedian who found himself in fintech. And I've been doing this for over 20 years. And so this is how it goes. I started my career after the first degree in physics in print production. And ever since I've been in tech, core tech, I've been in strategy, I've done marketing, I've done system design, I've done project management, and a few other things. And I look for trouble, especially if you're out of trouble. If you can be out of trouble, that's the kind of thing. The remitter is something that's transited from being just a product feature to become a product and has become a company. Company processes in excess of 50 billion USD annually. And we've been doing this for over 15 years. And kind of thing that happens is when you find yourself in an environment, just think of adding value. I think that's just a summary of what my criteria has been. Like I said, Twitter evolved from being a feature, just a product, into a whole project and product, and become a company. And we're going. And like I said, find opportunities with our own challenges, be misunderstood. But at the end of the day, we see a future where financial services continue to be iterated on an evolutionary path. And that's where we all come in. Everybody has something to add. It's so broad, it's so huge that everyone has got something to add. And I'll be happy to be part of that conversation of making things happen where you don't even see. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Deremi. Over to you, Kofu.
Thank you very much. When I came in this evening and I was informed that we would be having as a panelist, I was actually very, very downcasted. But thankfully, I understand that she's right there online with us. Can we have Oduayo on the screen?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Hi, Oduayo.
Hi. Can you hear me properly?
Oduayo Eweniyi is the only female that we have tonight. And it would have been very disappointing if she was not able to join us this evening. She's the co-founder, Chief Operations Officer for PiggyVest. And we're happy that you're able to join us online. So Oduayo, if you could just give us a deep dive into your profile and how you became who you are, co-founding PiggyVest in 2021.
Hi, everyone. I'm co-founder and COO at PiggyVest. And I have worked in tech for about 10 years now. Before that, PiggyVest is a micro savings and micro investment platform that is primarily targeted at younger people, enabling them to save very little amounts of money daily, weekly, monthly towards their targets. So we're best known for allowing people to save as low as 100 Naira and invest as low as 5,000 Naira for competitive returns. Over the past 7 years of PiggyVest existence, we've now gathered north of 5 million users, and our payouts, as we announced a few days ago, exceed 1.1 trillion Naira. The gist of it is that we believe that there is an infinite number of ways to encourage younger people and help younger people participate in Nigeria's financial services ecosystem. And one of the ways to do that is by savings, by investments, by allowing the access to investment that they would have otherwise been shut out from, and by providing ethical credit. And PiggyVest and our suite of products is just here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Oduayo. Thank you so much for that. I think you were able to drop that before the network went up. But basically, in summary, we like what you do. You're creating platforms to give young entrepreneurs the opportunity to have capital for investment. Thank you and well done for what you do. So we're going to start with,
finally, last but not the least, we have Mr. Callistus Obeta, the Group Executive Technology at First Bank. So Callistus, please tell us about yourself.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Callisto Sobeta, and okay. So I lead the team that design and build and operate and maintain the technology infrastructure that powers First Bank. I'm also responsible for the services delivery through channels, branches, you name it, for Nigeria and across the subsidiaries. My background, from mathematics, fresh out of school, went into consulting, Arthur Anderson, now KPMG, where I did quite a bit of business consulting, auditing, transformation, technology consulting, it's a whole raft. I was actually focused in the manufacturing sector before joining the banking industry. But over the years, so within the banking industry, I've done internal control, I've done products, very deep in products, payments, trade finance, treasury, before then assuming the executive role in my former bank, Standard Chartered Bank, and then at here now First Bank. So really my pleasure. All through my career, I've always worked with millennials. So it's a familiar space for me, and I'm very glad and excited to be here this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Callistus. I know when you were giving us your bio, you did not tell us that you made a first class. Neither did you tell us that you're a chartered accountant in the IT space. Okay, so we're going to be discussing this evening about the next gen financial services. How do we accelerate growth through talent and technology? How do we accelerate growth in the financial services industry through talent and technology? I mean, as you could see, we have very eminent panelists here, and they're going to assist us in dissecting that topic. I would like to start where I just finished now, and that's with Callistus. How do you think technology can assist in driving the growth of financial services?
Okay, so let me start first of all by saying that technology has really driven a lot of the transformation across many industries. But within the financial services space, I think it has had the most profound changes. But having said that, as we look into the future and we're talking about next gen, we're now talking about how to really drive access, drive inclusion, drive convenience, drive development, leveraging the latest technology of artificial intelligence, blockchain, big data, and analytics. Now, if I use First Bank example, from a very early on, over the last 4, 5, 6 years, we were clear that with the internet penetration, changing customer expectation, that it was important that we embrace technology as part of the cornerstone of our transformation. And then went on to make a lot of changes in terms of operating model, made a lot of investments in tech, such that 6, 7 years ago, for example, 6 out of every 10 transactions were done in the branches, 6 out of 10. But we are very clear that that was not a sustainable operating model, and that we need to move customers and our processes to channels. And therefore, started strategic investment on technology. And as soon as we completed the first and second phases of that transformation, COVID-19 then happened, such that in 2020, 9 out of every 10 transactions for customers were done on channels. And the volumes we did as First Bank in 2020 was more than the volume we did in 2019 and preceding years by over 40-50%. So that represents a fundamental change in terms of our business operating model. But now looking ahead in terms of how technology can drive growth. First of all, if we look at the way the business of banking, essentially we are basically facilitating economic activity. We are facilitating commerce in terms of deposit taking, in terms of exchange, in terms of providing credit. So across all that chain, what technology has allowed us to do, first of all, is to make it very easy and convenient to bring customers onto the platform, and also make it easy for them to save, to make payments, to make collections at scale, very, very conveniently, such that customers now have more time in their hand to do their core business as opposed to business or banking. So that the customers will bank less and do more with their business. So that's on the first side. Of course, because we have now digitized lending, right? Individuals and businesses can have easy and faster access to money to do their business in terms of lending. And of course, we also facilitate collection. So from a productivity standpoint, the technology has really enabled the bank to do the business of banking at scale. For example, right now, the volume of business we are doing in 2023 is almost 6 times the volume we are doing about 7 years ago. So that's really driving growth, driving development at scale. And we're only able to do all of this because of the convenience that technology provides. So I will rest it there and then take more questions. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that, Callistus. And you've talked about how you've used technology exponentially to drive some of the growth that you have seen in First Bank. But as we speak about financial inclusion, and we're seeing the fintechs also coming into play, we see startups coming into play, fintechs coming into play, and also because they're involved in the spread of financial services to as many customers that are more savvy. How, and I'm directing this question to you, Remy, if you don't mind, since you're in the fintechs, how are we able to, making sure that where the potential risk that we have in using, big data, because we need to have data to be able to service customers. How are we dealing with the risk that could be there using data in shaping the future of financial services? Because technology is one thing, data is another thing that has to do with the future.
Well, thank you very much. And I think we're speaking about the same thing, because you're talking about data, and that's on a scale that's built on technology platforms, right? The starting point for me is technology. Technology is not a commodity. Technology by itself can no longer be termed as competitive advantage. It's what you do with technology. The providers of financial services of the future are those who can identify the right talent, who can leverage technology for competitive advantage. So no matter how much you put into technology, if you've not got the right set of people who are correctly wired to translate your technology to advantage, it's just a matter of time before you out of providing financial services. And that's where data comes in. Right now, every touch point of interaction is a touch point for financial services. Every touch point for data, you can analyze it for financial service. And just think about it. You can create data points for transactions. You can know how many people are here, what the footfall is, what is the profile. The next thing is, what are they going to do? What they're going to do is going to be a function of what you are able to offer them, or what they're able to use their own resources for. Their resources could be immediate or could be in the future. And behind all of this is data. And when I say data, just think about it. Look at the number of people here. What will be their next needs? And Callistus mentioned something about artificial intelligence. So you can do predictive analysis. What is next need here? So everybody's had drinks, some snacks. What's the next thing? You can know that right away, and you can suggest, and whatever that is, you can convert to a financial service. And that is why everyone in here needs to begin to see the opportunity that data presents. And I'm sure Professor Anna is going to speak to that, the nature of data. And that's one of the things we do. And we say, honest truth is, fintech cannot be anything without the banks. And that's why at the end of the day, you're talking about liberalizing financial services. Going back to data. One of the typical examples has been in lending, right? And you're wondering, how come a civil servant who works for 35 years is still struggling to access loan, whether at the micro or the macro level? What did we do about 10 years ago? We paid the largest number of salary earners in Nigeria. And we said, guess what? Starting point is people don't even know what they earn. So they don't have pay slips. And we were shocked when people started getting pay slips on a public sector project 20 years ago, and it was being celebrated. And it was like, really? The next thing is, you want to access loan from your supposed financial service providers, and they're asking you for letter of employment, they're asking you for past 6 months pay slip, they're asking you for everything. What did we do? We converted that to just a single transaction point. All you need to do is make a data call, and we're providing that to all financial service providers, including the lenders, micro or macro. And it therefore means a typical person who gets regularly paid can have access to credit right there and then. The next thing you do, even if that money doesn't come in, and then you're talking about providing credit at the point of transaction. How do you provide credit at the point of transaction? You want to know who that guy is, you want to know those in a social network, you want to know what else he does, and you want to profile him. And you can do a social guarantee that, come on, this guy's going to pay up. So when you talk about the risk, anytime I hear risk, I see opportunities. Nothing ventured, nothing lost. So once you've got data, leveraging technology as a base is just almost limitless, the nature of financial services that you can provide. And that's the future we see. And you're going to see many more things happen in that space. And it's not just going to be local. It's going to also become continental, because right from within this environment, the data points are going to attract interest from outside of here, and many more things will happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. I mean, and I like the point you said about predictive technology. I would like to go to Professor Nana. I mean, we are here, we have a lot of Gen Z millennials here. Can you tell us, from your experience, how talent is helping to facilitate growth of financial services, and what we should be doing with the immense talents that we have here?
Fantastic question. So, speaking to millennials and Gen Zs, can you hear me? Oh, it's better. Okay. So, speaking to millennials and Gen Zs, from my vantage point in the DBN, my job essentially is to follow the money. And I'm going to speak from that lens because I think it's rather instructive. So, our modus operandi is we are essentially a development finance institution that funds other institutions, commercial banks, microfinance banks, merchant banks, and so on. So we have a plethora of participating financial institutions that we work with. The sole objective is to essentially empower micro, small, and medium enterprises. So when we are management committees and so on, we deliberate on who gets a line of credit and so on, and who is the best, excuse me, who is the best customer, which are the banks, to basically affect change within the MSME subsector. And ultimately, once we do this, we now have a team within my department who now has to follow where the money goes. And a lot of people have said a lot of horrific things about the banking system, about banks, and so on. But I like to think of them as a necessary evil. And I'm saying this as a banker because I know how bankers think. So what we do essentially is to say, hey, give us your pipeline deals or give us your end beneficiary list, and let's see if in fact all these clients of yours have actually received the funding and put it to use for its intended purpose. So in doing this, I had the pleasure and privilege of putting, if you will, a sophisticated criteria of what I would like to see from the end beneficiaries. So I trust my customers, who are the banks, who will basically send me this information. And once I get this information, my job begins in earnest. And believe it or not, Technology, I'm going to speak to that right now, has enabled our operations because we have sophisticated, if you will, colleagues, consultants. We have systems in place whereby once the end beneficiary received the funds, we are actually informed. We also have abilities to go out there and survey where they say their respective businesses are located, whether it's going there physically, whether it's using phones, whether using drones. It doesn't matter. We will find where you are and begin our due diligence to ensure that the funds are being put to use. We use a sampling methodological approach because we don't have the bandwidth to go across the country. Notwithstanding, my job is to get a good representation of our portfolio, whether it's in trade and commerce, our manufacturing, ICT, healthcare, hospitality, you name it. We want to see where the funds are being used. And at that point, we now tell the story of change. We ask probing questions to the recipients of those funds to see, in fact, if they received the funds when the bank said they received it, how hard it was to receive the funds, and so on and so forth, culminating in what we consider our monitoring and evaluation report, which we share with our board, which we share with our funders, which we share with our ultimate stakeholders, which includes our customers, the banks who gave us the end beneficiary list. That way, everybody is aware of what we're doing. We're operating above board. We're transparent. And ultimately, if you're doing good work, we'll praise you. If you're not, we will condemn you.
Thank
you. Simple.
Thanks so much, Professor. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Prof. Okay, so we're going to go into another round of questions for our panelists. I don't know whether Odwayo is there, but it is said that if you're going to climb a mountain, right, you'd need, it's best if you have some sort of navigational aid or that helps you to climb, right? And I imagine that the Gen Zs in this room and the millennials will be very much interested in how you became. How did you become? So I'll ask a question. If all of you were students again, and Odwayo, maybe I start with you. If all of you were students again in the university, what is that one course that you would have taken? What is that one course that you think you would have taken with the benefit of hindsight? Odwayo, can I imagine that you're the closest person to having graduated among the panelists here? So I'll start with you.
Right.
Did you get my question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Right. I studied computer engineering and I graduated 10 years ago. But I think that I have a handle on what is still being studied in the universities and nothing has changed. And so by so saying, I think I would still study computer engineering. What I've seen over the past decade is that there's a lot of skills needed to be in tech, right? Product design, programming, product management, but none of these skills are untransferable or unlearnable. As a matter of fact, I think that a lot of the skills that we practice in tech today are additive to most of what we've studied in university. So we have a lot of fintech founders who study biological sciences. We have a lot of fintech founders who are engineers. We have people being able to cross from whatever course of study into just working in tech. Think like one of the basic skill you need for succeeding in tech or for working in tech or, in the super fast-paced, fourth industrial revolution is just your ability to learn and pick up things very quickly and just that openness. So I don't think that there is anything that I needed to know that I could have learned in 2013 before I left school. So I think for most people, it's pretty much the same thing. But if you're going into university today, I know that universities like Covenant University or Obafemi Awolowo University have started to actually create entrepreneurship, fintech, and other new age departments and courses that people can then opt into as electives to add to what they're already majoring in. But I don't think that right now being in tech, working in tech requires that major adjustment in your life career path. What it really needs is you creating space to add that knowledge, figuring out what is useful on Coursera and edX and all the other open source education platforms that exist on the internet, Stanford, Harvard, right? There's literally nothing that the internet cannot do for you. So I don't think you need to modify your entire course path to fit it, but you just have to create space to make sure that you're gaining the requisite knowledge as you move through like your university education.
Thank you very much. And can we ask the same questions of panelists?
So, Callistus, do you want to start?
Okay, so I sincerely believe I will still go the mathematics route for 2-3 reasons. First is mathematics is the representation of reality in numbers. Okay, so it provides you a very strong analytical way of thinking, which you can then apply to different scenarios. So,
sorry, Callistus, can I ask everybody in the house, how many of us had A1s in mathematics? Any A1 in mathematics in the room? Wow. See some hands raised. The Gen Zs and the millennials, A1, A2, A3. Callistus, you need to recalibrate your response.
Okay, so it is I see it as a building block for science, for computing, for technology. And that universality of application in finance, in business, so basically sharpens your way of thinking that you can apply to different scenarios. But definitely for my children, for my kids that are going through school now, they are very good in maths, but they rather do an applied course like medicine and engineering and so on and so forth. But at least that building block helps them in their pursuits. So I think it's still something I will do. But of course, with what we now know, obviously one will want to do internship in the course of the 4 years, which was not the norm at the time, just to see an industrial application of what we are studying in the university, do attachment with banks, with industries, which was also not the case at the time. So what we then do in FOSBAC now, we have partnership with universities, where we bring in mathematics, engineering, computer science, and expose them to our bank, to various parts of the bank, so they can see firsthand how the concept they are learning in the university can be applied in a place of business, just to prepare them to make that transition to employment upon graduation. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, maybe we should ask Remy and Prof a different set of questions.
Okay, I think Prof has an answer. Prof, please want to share your views?
Yeah, I have to say something because everybody is basically marking their territory. The lady on Oduaya said, "Oh, I'm going to stick with computer science." Well, good for you. Callista said, "Oh, mathematics." Well, good for you. The truth of the matter is this: you have to play to your strengths. That is my philosophy of life. Play to your strengths. If you're an arts person, play to it. If you're an econ person, play to it. Do not let anybody impress on you what is not your natural proclivity. That is the beginning of madness, is the beginning of your downfall. In my humble opinion, I started out with accounting because it came easy to me. But when I realized accounting is basically reporting what has happened, I wanted nothing to do with that anymore. I wanted to see the future. And to see the future, I felt applied economics, understanding human behavior, understanding the macro, understanding the micro, how industries work, how people respond to different news agendas will demonstrate how ultimately you lead the future. So I went back to school, retrained from accounting to economics, got an applied economics degree, and a PhD in the same field. To be sure, what I'm simply telling you is this: if you know a strong economist, you will know somebody who will never be poor in life. I'll pause there.
Thank you so much. I mean, Jeremy, I know you have some answers, but the question we have for you, is this. We've been saying many good things about technology, about talent. What are the challenges, that we need to be conscious of, that we need to address, as we seek to grow the financial services industry on the basis of technology and talent? What are the challenges? What are the areas that we need to be conscious of?
Well, thank you very much. I really wish I had an answer to that because it's almost like saying, what should we be conscious of about oxygen? Because you can't do away with technology in this evolution, this iteration of life. So probably I don't understand the question because you just can't escape technology. Technology is oxygen to this life as things are now. There's virtually nothing you can do without that. Having said that, like I said earlier, I think it's the interplay of talent and technology. And that presupposes to say oxygen, as good as it tastes for life, is the number one thing you need for fire, by the way. Yeah. So we can't do away with oxygen because we need it to live, but it's also the number one enabler for fire. So it goes back to technology. We can't do away with it. To get the best out of technology means what and who are the right talents to make it deliver the things we need. And that's why I said at the intersection of financial services, the people who are going to thrive are those who are leveraging technology for optimum output because they've got the best talent to make things happen. And those best talents are the guys who are going to deal with the possible negative outcomes of technology or the wrong bit. And in the financial services, what typically will come to mind will be fraud, cybersecurity. But don't forget, if anybody can think it, somebody can unthink it. Just make sure you got the smart guys on your side. Be sure that you understand what the risks are and be one step ahead. In being one step ahead, that's only a function of talent. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. So we've talked about technology and the investments that we need to make in technology, but without the talent to actually make use of the technology, we then have the threat that Kim was, insinuating earlier on. We all know about the Great Resignation that we saw in the year 2020, and considering that the Japa syndrome is still with us here in Nigeria, how do we retain talent in the banking industry? We know the traditional things that we do as HR. We know the investments that the banking sector has made in people, but still, the Gen Zs and the millennial. I was in an interview session where after interviewing this young gentleman, we asked him why was he leaving his present organization, and he said, well, he stayed too long there. When we asked him how long was too long, can you just guess what he said? 11 months. 11 months what he was too long. And so what do you think we can do? What recipe or what formula can you advise banks to put in place to ensure that we're able to retain all these millennials and the Gen Zs in this room, that we don't lose them out of the banking industry? Callistus, we'll start with you.
Okay, so I think a couple of measures can be put in place. Labor mobility is the fact of life, it's the reality of life. Technology will remain critical to our business. So the intervention will be at various levels. So let's start at the level of the firm, which is at the level of the bank. One is to look at the pipeline. We recently set up a technology academy where we take in fresh graduates. The last intake was about 98 fresh graduates from the university. Ran them through the system in various areas of technology, data science, information security, software coding, infrastructure. As of that moment, we did not have need for 100 engineers, but we brought them in anyway, recognizing that sooner or later, about 40 of them would be on their way, for whatever reason. And that's the fact of life. So what we are doing now is to increase the pipeline. So that Technology Academy is now a standing academy. It runs for 3 months. Once the set graduates, we'll start the hiring process for the next set. So that at any point in time, that pipeline, that bench strength is there. So that's the first one. Now, the second intervention is around how do you drive retention? So what we realized was that we looked at how the leading technology companies are dealing with that and accepted that, yes, we are a bank in name, but reality is that we should have the mindset of a technology company providing banking services. And therefore, we had to treat the millennials the way an Amazon or a Facebook would treat their employees. So we changed the nomenclature. The guys that work in our technology, we no longer call them banking officer or SBO, all those acronyms that relate to banking. We have now adopted engineering titles for all of them, and they seem to like it. The software development engineer 1, SDA 2, SDA 3, chief architect, and so on and so forth. So we've adopted the grading system that the tech companies adopt. The third aspect is that we've also changed their work style. So they have flexibility of resumption and closing. They have the flexibility of work from home or work from the office. No, basically the same style that they would get if they work for a technology company. That's basically what we've adopted. And then finally is that before now, you had to have a degree in computer science or physics to apply for the job. But increasingly, we are beginning to acquire technologies, low-code, no-code technologies, where regardless of your background, insofar as you have an analytical mindset, we are exposing all our staff to training software coding, all our staff, the guys in the branches. And interestingly, we are beginning to see crop of women in particular begin to show special talents on user UI UX designs. So basically opening up the corridor. Some people may have read biology when they had natural inclination for physics or for software, but because they wanted to be doctors and all of that. So basically opening that corridor.
Okay, thank you so much.
So we're taking some steps to achieve that. Thank you.
There is a key person that we've been waiting for all along, and is here with us. I would like us to make welcome distinguished Senator Asuko Ekpeyong as he comes up on stage now. The youngest senator in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Senator Ekpeyong, please.
You're welcome,
Senator. Senator Ekpeyong is representing Cross River South. Yeah. Okay. He's a member of the CIBN. So, Senator, please, we hope you are ready for some questions, because we've been asking some questions and keeping some waiting for you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Asuko Ekpeyong, Senator representing Cross River South. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm also a member of the Institute.
Thank you very much. This senator has a list of awards. The youngest served Commissioner of Finance for Cross River State, the youngest and the longest. And he's now the youngest serving senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I think he deserves a round of applause for that. So it's very timely that you're coming in, because it will be great for you to share insight into what drives you into taking a decision. Because when I read your profile, I saw that you had done about 3 or 4 different things before you eventually now became senator. You even had an enterprise of your own, at some point. So basically, what are those things? At what point do you take a crossroad decision as to your next career move? And what are the key drivers or triggers for you?
Well, as they say, information is the basis for any decision. So the first thing in making any decision is research as much as possible, derive as much information as you can, and take your decision. But when it comes to moving between careers, I've been a private businessman for the longest time. I worked in the finance sector and I was more or less in the private sector. But then in 2015 or thereabouts, I was a young man. I had a chance meeting with the newly sworn-in governor of Cross River at the time. And during the course of our engagement and his plans for the state, he was just speaking my brain. I gave him as much as I could, aided him. And okay, let me go back a bit. During the course of the campaign, I had worked on the manifesto, the blueprint he had for the economy. And so after he won, we had that engagement. He asked me to work with him. And at first, I was hesitant a bit because I didn't know anything about public service. I didn't know how to go about it. But he said to me, and this has been the driving force behind me staying in public service. He said, no matter what you do in the private sector, the multiplier effect when done in the public sector is enormous. And so the ability to actually create change, impact change, touch the lives of people positively is one of my driving factors. And so I went into the public sector, and I've been in the public sector for about 8.5 years now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very Akim?
Okay, thank you so much. So we're talking about talents in the financial services industry, and we're about to close out now. So from your experience in the public service, public sector in the last few years, what do you think are those points that we need to be conscious of to be able to get the proper talent motivated to grow our financial services industry?
I was standing at the back there, and I heard you talking a lot about Japa and the Japa syndrome. And you're saying Gen Z. I'm not Gen Z. I don't think there's anyone here that is Gen Z. It's a whole different set of people entirely. I think maybe a couple of us here may be millennials. But the driving force behind anyone staying in his job or looking to leave his job is, I think, his job satisfaction. It's not always about remuneration. It's not always about money. The fact that you can come into work, you can contribute your quota, and you can see the actual change that your quota is giving in terms of its pull to the bottom line of the company. In the IT area, I think talent. I think the conversation just before I joined was about the IT and tech sector, and that's just the truth. Most of them always are driven to do their own thing. So they may start off with a financial institution, but ultimately, during the course of their operations in that financial institution, they discover opportunities or gaps, lacunas in the market, and they decide to leave that institution and go out and do their own thing. So ultimately, if they are able to provide or prefer solutions, they are able to innovate within their environment where they work. And those ideas or solutions that they put forward are taken by whoever is their line manager or whoever is their, ahead of them in the company, and they are allowed to express themselves, especially in the area of innovation. I think they will find a lot of job satisfaction and remain. Remuneration is key, but it's not everything.
Thank you very much. We would like to open this up now to members. Yeah.
Members of the audience, the floor is now open for you to please ask your questions. The Gen Zs and the millennials, please, can you ask your questions of the panelists? Hello?
Any questions for the panelists?
Yes, please go ahead.
I have the most interesting question. And I think at least two of the people on this panel, I know them quite well. Please, can you all confirm that I belong to Gen Z?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a politician. Absolutely.
You have all made my day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the for the question. Okay, in the absence, I can't see any hands raised.
No. Maybe we just need to have closing remarks from the panelists.
Absolutely.
So just 1 minute each. We'll start with you, Prof. Just tell us. We've heard you say your mind, but can you just wrap up in 1 minute how you think talent and technology can continue to drive the financial services industry.
Okay, so talent and technology, in my mind, remains the key to the future. Whoever has the most information, whoever has the right information, can command and control the future. That's the bottom line. So, in summary, keep asking probing questions, expand your network, because ultimately that will be your net worth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Callistus?
Okay, so I'll address my comment to the Gen Zs and the millennials specifically. First of all, the technology will continue to change the society and industries in the ways that we have not even imagined over the years to come. Now, the Gen Zs and millennials have unique advantages to participate in this. One is you are born in this age, so you are digital native. So this should come naturally to yourselves. That's the first one. The second point is that by the nature of the way you behave and live, you live in ecosystems, you connect a lot across geography, which is very, very good for innovation and creativity. You also like to be involved in doing meaningful work. So key to moving forward is that the Gen Zs will continue to strive to play an active part in what is going on. Build a future driven by technology that is also very inclusive to make sure that nobody is left behind. No continent can afford to be left behind in this technology age. No gender can afford to be left behind. So men, women, rich people, people in rural areas, the urban dwellers, technology can actually empower everybody across geographies, and there should be no excuses the millennials can give if they fail in this regard. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Callistus. And thank you for the emphasis on gender as well, because we actually need to have more female in that space. And Jeremy? Same question.
Well, closing remarks. One is opportunity. Hello? Yeah, thanks. Opportunities will continue to emerge in financial services, leveraging technology, and no one is limited. No one is constrained or restrained from taking advantage of those opportunities. Do not let anyone put you in any pigeonhole that you're not a tech person. The average person today has access to technology as a commodity. The second thing is financial service providers need to transition from trying to use what brought them here to take them into the future and not be afraid of losing, as it were, talents. It's a global world. If you continue to think you're going to hold on to anyone, it's going to be like you're trying to hold on to air. Make it attractive for people to self-actualize within your environment. Stop thinking you're going to hold on to this person. The new world order is each person wants to have everyone wants to be able to express themselves in more ways than one. Create an environment for people to thrive. And like the senator said, make sure they see themselves within that context. It is not about the remuneration. If anything has the last word from us, we don't eye on degrees, we only eye on attitude. And that's what we've been doing for 32 years. And we've got people who are plain language persons in core technology. We've got fine artists in core technology. With us, opportunities are limitless, endless. That is the future we see, that anyone within the financial service sector can create something leveraging technology without being constrained. Thank you.
Well, I think all the financial institution experts have spoken. So I'm going to speak from the point of a politician, I guess, because it's been about 10 years since I worked in a financial institution. Let me speak about it in the context of the last election. Now, the thing is, innovation, the next generation are going to be the innovators. And for us, when we came in, no one actually gave us a chance. I was young, I was running on a party that was extremely unpopular in my region and in my state at that level. And what did we do? The first thing was to go out and get data. How people voted in the past, what were the issues that were important to people. We did a lot of polling. We took that data, harnessed it into information. We took that information and we went into the field. And we went everywhere. We spoke to everyone. We leveraged a lot on technology. We didn't go the old route that the politicians would use, finding major stakeholders in places. The beauty of what we had was we researched and we saw the last two by-elections in 2022 before the February 25th election. And what we did was we monitored and researched and almost audited how the Beaver system worked. And when we went in, we realized that for once, the voting at the polling unit was going to actually be decided by the people with PVCs. So we went out, we didn't waste our time talking to people without PVCs. We went, identified those who were registered to vote, and we started engaging them. We set up call centers, we were calling them. I worked at the call centers myself. On average, I would spend 4 or 5 hours at the call center every day, calling people, speaking to them, and I had agents speaking to them. We leveraged social media, we leveraged technology extremely well. And that's how we were able to penetrate. And on the day we won the election. So the point is, it's always going to be, we had a very small team with 10 people at the nucleus, but was extremely data driven. So we weren't wasting time on people who wouldn't be able to vote. And we weren't wasting time on people we knew we couldn't sway to vote for us. So we did it, and that's how we did it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Odwayo. Hello, Odwayo. Okay. It doesn't seem that Odwayo is still with us. I'll just summarize key words from this session this evening. From this session this evening, we heard about following the money. We've heard about attitude. Growing up, attitude was one big thing that value that we were told that made the difference. We've heard about diligence and dedication. So basically, to all of us Gen Zs and millennials, for all the insights that our panelists have shared with us this evening, I think they deserve a resounding applause. Thank you very much to all of you for sharing your time and sharing your insights with all of us here. Thank you very much. And we thank the Governing Council, we thank members and management of CIBN for this opportunity and for this platform. Thank you. It's a wrap from here. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can do a louder applause as we celebrate them. Quick photos together, and also invite the president and the registrar office holders to also join in for quick photographs. All right, as we're taking the photographs, I'd like to quickly acknowledge Mr. Rashid Bolariwa, Head Corporate Communications at Polaris and a member of the Planning Committee. A round of applause for him. Also, Otumba Mrs. Debola Oshibogun, FCIB, past president, CIBN. Mrs. Emily Osuji, Executive Director, NDIC, and Member Conference Planning Committee. Mr. Taiwo Joda, FCIB, MD CEO, Asion Microfinance Bank. A round of applause. Mr. Bashir Nuhu, Director Communications, NDIC, and a member of the Conference Planning Committee. And Mr. Kingsley Uranta, GM Channels TV, and a member of the Planning Committee. A round of applause for all of them. Once again, a big thank you to all our speakers who have shared their thoughts. Quick photo ops. We'll take quick photos and we're going on to the next session. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. We are changing gears. We are moving on to another session that you don't want to miss out on. And ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention. We are having a competition. This is going to be a challenge. and it's an intergenerational challenge. I know we have different generations here. The Gen Zs are here, the millennials are here, the silent generations are here, the baby boomers are here, and we're going to find out who gets to walk away with our prizes. All right. Thank you very much to all our panelists and our speakers. Thank you very much as they take their leave from the stage. Thank you. All right, DJ, are you with me? We're about to change gears. Is the DJ with me? Is the DJ with me? Okay. Awesome, awesome. So you want to come closer. Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, DJ. Attention, passengers on board. Attention, passengers on board. Flight next gear, next generation is about to take off. I'm calling on all passengers to please get ready for the next session. We have a dance competition. All right, please, can we clear the stage? Thank you very much. We'd like to use the stage now. Please, want to use the stage? Thank you. Thank you very much. Want to use the stage? Thank you very much. Want to use the stage? Thank you. Please, can we clear the stage? Thank you. Can we clear the stage? Want to use the stage? Thank you. All right.
If I go dash
please, can we clear the stage? Away from the stage. All right.
You find like this, if you look well, no be only me come. I carry body there, they bring you money come. I say we no go to the money come.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are from the Generation Z, I'm talking about those who are born between 1997 and 2010. Please make some noise. Where are my Gen Z people? I told you we have switched gears. We have moved over to another session. All right. If you are a millennial, are you listening to me? If you are a millennial between 1981 and 1996, please make some noise. Where are my millennials? Please, ladies and gentlemen, can we clear the stage because we're having a competition here. All right. If you are in Generation X between 1965 and 1980, please make some noise. Where are the people that said they are 1980? I can see some young people. What's happening? 1980? 1965? All right. Thank you, DJ. Now, if you are a baby boomer, those are our elders. If you are a baby boomer between 1946 and 1964, make some noise. See, our elders are here. Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, DJ, are you ready? All right, if you are the silent generation, attention, ladies and gentlemen, please let's pay attention. Silent generation, 1925 and 1945. Please make some noise. Okay, no silent generation. They're silent. They're silent. Okay, okay, thank you. Thank you, DJ. All right, so now I'm going to be calling on the baby boomer generation. This stage is for only the baby boomers. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not a baby boomer, please, for now, let's clear the stage. That is those who are between 1946 and 1964. I'm inviting all the baby boomers. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, I think this is louder. I'm inviting all the baby boomers. If you were born between 1946 and 1964, please don't deny your date of birth. Oh, come forward. DJ, are you ready for us? We have a dance competition. 1946 to 1964. Baby boomers, 1946 to 1964. The stage is for you, please. Please, can you invite them forward? All the baby boomers. Sir, the stage is for you.
What's your pleasure?
All the baby boomers. Woo! All the baby boomers, come on!
It's a celebration.
All the baby boomers between 1946 and 1964. The stage is yours. Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on!
It's a
Hey, you're killing it! Thank you, Mr. DJ!
Wanna be starting something. Be starting something. I said you wanna be starting something. Got to be starting something. How to get over? Get up. It's not a thing to live You wanna be starting something. Be starting something.
Are you
be starting something.
Are you
be starting something? But you have to get over.
Make some noise for the baby Thank you.
No good. You're being someone tell me
What you gonna do? Do you wanna get out? What you gonna do? You wanna get out? What you gonna do? You gonna get out? Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up on the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up on the wall. I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. If you really want it. Get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. On it. Come on in. Get down on it.
Thank you. Please make some noise for them. I mean, can you fit that? Did you see that dance step where he did like? I'm like, what? I can't even do that. Okay, now I'm inviting the next generation. If you are born between 1965 and 1980, the stage is yours. Come and show us your skills. Please, DJ, give us something. 1965 to 80. 1965 to 80. Gen Zs, are you getting ready? Hey, see my people. Millennials, are you getting ready?
This is how we do it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Friday
1965 to 1980. Come on, show your steps.
Here on the west side, so I reach for my 40 and I turn it up. Designated driver, take the keys to my truck. Get the shawl cause I'm faded. Honey's in the streets, say money, yo, we made it. It feels so good in my hood.
Okay, DJ. Well done, Mr. DJ, but they said that they want another song. They said they want something different. They want to show us their skills. And this song is not bringing it out. They said maybe Michael Jackson or something like that. I trust my DJ. He has something for every generation. Please give us something. They want something. They're getting ready. Oh. They're about to show us. Oh. They're about to show us. Oh. All right. Thank you, Mr. DJ. Please give us something else. 1965 to 1980. You've got to be here. You've got to be here. All right. DJ, you got something? No, Ashake is not their generation. No. Somebody said Ashake. They don't want Ashake. Oh, when is your turn? You dance Ashake. DJ, they said they don't want this one, no. They said this one is for the older generation, no. Please give us a song. Which one do you want?
And the gang. Cool and the gang.
Cool and the gang. They said they want Cool and the gang. They say it's Fela Nicolakwo Putina, oh. DJ, give us something else. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. DJ. Thank you for the great job you're doing. Some people are already getting ready for their generation. They're already practicing the dance step. Which one are we going to give them? Is it the leg one? Is it the hand one? Like this one? Okay, it's danceable. Thank you.
Oh, what you gonna do? You gonna get
1965 to 1980. The stage is
you
yours.
wanna get out? Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get out? Oh, what you gonna do?
Come on! Come on! Come on!
Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it.
1965 to 1980.
Come on and get down on it. Get down on it.
Come on!
Get down on it. Get down on it.
Look at that! Look at that! Look at
How you
that!
gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Baby, baby, get down on it. Get on it. Get down on it. I say people. What you gonna do?
We are letting go. We are letting.
You gotta get on the groove. If you want your body to move, tell me, baby, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance?
It's a Monday. I can feel it when you walk. Even when you walk, it takes over me. Yes, I'm done there. I wanna know, can you feel it too? Just it's starting now. It's the same feeling. I always seem to get around. There's no mistaking. I'm clearly taken by the simple miracle of love. It's starting now. It's starting now. It's starting now. My eyes rolling in my head. I toss and turn in my bed. In the morning when I think about love. Yes, I know. Simply you're the reason why. Even though I feel shy.
Thank you. Give a round of applause for them, please. Did you see that dance step? I mean, it was like a choreography. You just da 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 da, pam pam da 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 da. I'm waiting for my people. When is their turn? Please give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now it is time for Generation X. Oh, we already had Generation X actually. So we are moving on now. Sorry, we're not calling you for a second round. We are moving on now to my people, the best generation ever. Are you ready? I'm talking about. You will talk you when I say the name. You're saying that so. I'm talking about those who were born between 1981 and 1996. They are the millennials. Where are my millennials now? Come on, show now. Don't just do like this. Come on, show. Come on, show. What song do we want? Give us booga, give us booga, give us booga. Gen Z cannot beat this. Give us booga. Please, millennials, where are you? Where are you? Where are my millennials? Where are the millennials? 1981 to 1996. Where are the millennials? Are you a millennial? 1981 to 1996. You are a millennial. No, it's like that. Millennials. We're calling on millennials. 1981 to 1996. We're calling on the millennials. Come and show yourself. Hey, come on, take a He removed his jacket. He said, today, not today, oh. Please. DJ, what's happening now? What's happening now?
You see, true love, she used to leave there before. But I done messed up and threw her out the door. Now I don't feel irate like I used to before. All the things I used to say, all the way we used to get, how we used to get. Now there's an emptiness inside of my soul.
1981.
And they say my loneliness will start to show. And God knows I cannot take it no more. That's why I'm messing with you. I don't have to know with you. You see, I'm looking for someone to satisfy me. Looking for someone to love me completely. Looking for someone to show me true love. Don't sleep, don't sleep. Wake up. Cause I can't want it. Wake up. Cause I can't want it. Wake up.
Thank you. Who can beat that? Ladies and gentlemen, should we close? Are we done? Should we close? We already have a winner now. Should we close? Okay, is there another generation? Who are they? Let me hear you. Who are they? So there are Gen Zs here. Okay, all the Gen Zs. This time, I don't mean all the guys alone, no, because what was that? That was dance for guys alone. All the guys and all the ladies. Gen Zs, please. Gen Zs, come forward. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Where are the Gen Zs? Where are the Gen Zs? Where are the Gen Zs? Are you shy? I don't mean already. Thank you, DJ. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to vote. I think we had mentioned the name of generations, and you make noise if you believe they are the winners. If you believe that the winner is the baby boomer generation, make some noise. No votes? Okay. But they tried, or did you see their step? Okay, if you think that the winner is Generation X, please make some noise. No noise, oh. Nothing. Zero. But they tried, though. Okay. So even you are not saying no. All right. If you believe that the winner is the millennials, if they are the winners, make some noise. Okay, is that all the noise you want to make for them? Are you beefing? Okay, I'll try now. All right, so if you think that the winners is Gen Z, make some. Hey, we're not even done, no. Okay. You are even threatening my DJ again. Hey. Okay, so fighting now. Everyone, across different generations. So DJ, help us find something that cuts across. I know that the majority are the Gen Zs and the millennials. So please, no, we'll put on the lights, don't worry. We'll make everything in plain sight, right? And then we'll come forward and just inviting everyone. DJ, are you ready? Gen Zs and millennials and across different generations. The stage is yours.
She bringing out maratona, que le fala Dios que no me fetiza, que le diga para que pitine, no controlo yo crezco, donde crezco, que vaya resto, que vaya resto, que vaya resto, donde crezco, que vaya resto, que vaya resto.